Hello and welcome to May's Crochet. I am Rachel and it is our fourth and final week of Crochet Bingo. So if you have not been here, I've been doing this bingo card right here over the last 3 weeks. At the beginning of every video, I draw 5 tasks from a bag at random. They're just little pieces of paper, super high tech. And I try to get those tasks done by the end of the week. That way I can mark it off on the bingo card. Now it has to be drawn from the bag and I have to complete it. Why am I doing all this? Well, I have jury duty. I've had jury duty since the last week of June. I've got 3 days left, almost done, but I did not want to have like a big project every week like I sometimes often do, just in case I had to go in and I didn't have time to work on anything. I also didn't want to not post in case I didn't have to go in, which has mostly been the case. I have only gone in 1 time so far, and I did not get picked for the official jury, so I was only there about 3 hours. There's still 3 days to go. I am fairly certain and confident tomorrow I will not have to go in, but that still leaves Thursday and Friday. Guess we'll see. So as you can see on the bingo card, if I pick 5 things, we're gonna get bingo probably multiple ways. And that's just not super exciting, right? No. Okay, so the next plan I had was to maybe just draw 1 thing at a time until I hit bingo, but then there's a chance that I would absolutely, maybe potentially hit bingo right off the bat. That's no fun either. So I have come up with another solution. So what I've decided to keep a little interest, a little surprise, a little randomness in there is that there are 4 things left on this card that if I did 2 of them in certain combinations, I would still not have bingo. So I am going to spin a wheel with those combinations marked. I will do the 2 things that are stated, and then there will be 7 spaces left. I will draw one of those, and that will be the thing that gives us bingo. I think, like, I've looked at this a lot, and I am pretty sure, 99% sure that that's accurate. However, I might also be at the point where I've been looking at it for so long that I'm very wrong. Like something is skipping in my brain to where when I look at it, something's not making sense. But I think I'm right. So let's do that. Let's start the video with the 2 things I'm going to do, the combination of the 2 things I'm going to do that'll leave me in a position that no matter what I draw, I will have bingo at that point. Since it's a combination of 2 things and I can't guarantee what will be drawn, because there are some situations where 2 of those things would create a bingo, but there are 4 situations where those 2 things together would not. I hate to complicate these things, but this is where we are. Anyway, so we have the octopus and the gift and the chart and the kit book, or the kit book and the octopus. So any of those combinations would not create a bingo. So now I'm gonna spin and see what 2 tasks I get, and then we'll go from there. All right, we have the octopus and the gift. So the octopus and the Christmas in July gift, cool. Christmas in July, great. I mean, the gift's not gonna be given until Christmas, but making it now will help quite a bit. And then the octopus, I mean, I think they're cute. I'm gonna try to freehand it best I can. I'm not gonna watch a tutorial or check out a pattern. It's a fairly simple concept, I think. And then once those 2 things are done, I will draw for the final one that should leave, again, 7 tasks. I'll draw for the final one to see what gives us bingo, so that'll be later this week. Are we all clear? Yeah? Okay, great. Okay, I've started this twice already. Well, the first time I was really just practicing with yarn to see if I could use a 4-weight to make the reversible octopus, and I decided against it. For a size, I would have to put in more work, like more stitches, and I didn't want to do that. So I don't really have a lot of the bigger, squishier yarn, the blanket or the velvet, in various colors that are exciting, but I'm also not going shopping for this. This is just a little project, and I'm not going to go buy $20 worth of yarn to use like 1/10 of it. So I've got some pink velvet and some ivory blanket yarn. They're the same weight-ish. They're relatively the same thickness, so we're just gonna go with it. So that was the first attempt, was using like a 4-weight cotton poly blend. I think the tube yarn, like the Woobles beginner friendly, doesn't split yarn. Okay, that didn't work out. So then yesterday, when I decided I was gonna use these, I started with like a 7mm hook. This is an 8, and I started with a magic ring, and when I went to pull it closed, I broke the yarn. I pulled it too tight, I broke the yarn. So damn it. Then I tried again, but using the 4-chain method, and then I realized the 7 was just too tight and it wasn't gonna flip inside and out nicely. Then I went back to the 8, still using the chaining method for my beginning circle. And then I got like that weird cone effect, because I never do that anymore. I never use that method anymore. So then I got the weird cone effect, and I'm like, I hate this so much. So then I just kind of gave up for the night, and here I am now, trying to get through this stupid reversible octopus that I'm just eyeballing, not following a pattern, and it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so let me explain my thought process of what I'm doing now that I'm actually gonna move forward with it and get it done right now, because it is very late in the week. Thank God I did not decide to do 5 things, because there's just no way. So I usually do amigurumi or anything that starts like this with a 6 single crochet and a magic ring, but since it's an octopus, we'll go ahead and go with 8. It shouldn't be that much different. However, I'm only going up to 24, which is also a multiple of 6, because I also need multiples of 8, and 24 seems good. Yeah. Because then that would give me like the odd number multiple of 3, which I think is how I want to work the tentacles, not fingers, but tentacles. Anyway, so I'm tired. I am so tired. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're going to push forward. We're going to get through this. So that's my plan. Work up to 8. No, start with 8, work up to 24, and then do the tentacles over 3 stitches around. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna do the tentacles yet. I was going to do just like the little like semicircle ones that almost look like a very basic flower petal, which I could do, or I could do something a little, longer, but I don't know. The flower petal ones are small and cute. They don't look like tentacles, but they are small and cute. And like, who's gonna come for me? Who's gonna see this and come for me saying I didn't make a proper octopus? If you don't know what a reversible octopus is, I forgot to start off with this, because the footage I filmed last night trying to start this thing, I scrapped all of it, and I did talk about this at the beginning. It's just a little octopus you flip in and out, 2 different colors, and then like one side's a smiley face, one side's a frowny face. That's it. I'm not gonna put up any pictures. You can Google it because the pictures belong to other people. It's so basic. And I just have not been able to push forward and do this. And I need to, because I still have to do a Christmas present and then do the official thing that gets me a bingo. And it is so late in the week and at night. So, okay. We're gonna start. I'm gonna start with the white or off-white, ivory, whatever this is. I don't know. Again, starting with 8 stitches instead of 6. Work out to 3 rounds of 24, and then I'm gonna work down, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds, whatever feels comfortable enough to be the body of an octopus, I suppose. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. We have 8. Increase in every stitch to 16, single crochet, and then an increase to get up to 24. I'm gonna do that, and I'll just come back when I have the length of what I want. Yeah, on both. We'll work them together, or sort of at the same time. Okay, so of course I've run into a snag. So these 2 yarns look to be the same thickness. I mean, really, really, really close, but these are not the same. Both worked with an 8mm hook. I could change the hook, but I'm afraid that this would be just that much more open. So I'm not gonna use the pink velvety yarn. I have some purple velvet yarn, but it is really just too dark for what I wanna use. So I will do orange. This is blanket yarn as well, so I guess we're starting the second half over again. I'm so tired of something so simple being such a pain in the ass. It's just, why? This shouldn't be that hard. So I'm back to where I should have been, now with the orange. Meh, not my first choice. Again, I'm not gonna go spend money on yarn when I've got plenty of this stuff to get rid of. So, not plenty, some, but they're all very boring colors, unfortunately. Oh well, doesn't matter. Moving on. So, sticking with the 8 theme for octopus, there are 8 rounds. It's the first 3 rounds where, I increase up to 24, and then 5 more rounds past that, 8 altogether. We're now gonna do tentacles. So I'm gonna work the tentacles over 3 stitches. So this is my plan. I haven't done this. This is just what was in my stupid brain. Slip stitch into the first stitch and do a single crochet in the same stitch. Then that central stitch, doing the single crochet after doing the slip stitch is hard. It sucks, actually. I'm also very tired, so it sucks. Okay, second stitch. Half double crochet, double crochet, and another half double crochet all in the same stitch. Oh boy. I should have known the pink wasn't going to work out. The velvety was just, it was too smooth. It was moving along too smoothly. Oh well. And then the third stitch, single crochet, and in the same stitch, a slip stitch. If I can. Yes, yes, I can do it. So it's just gonna look like this, kind of like just a little petal almost. So slip stitch, single crochet, half double, double, half double, single slip. I hope I have 24. I haven't counted in a while. Okay. Okay, so this is the plan, the little, you know, just bumps. It's cute. But I decided to go ahead and try longer tentacles on the white side, and it looks so much better, right? Yes. Yes, yes it does. But I'm going to bed. I'll finish this tomorrow. Yeah, it's so late, and I've been goofing off more than I've been working. That's okay. Okay, so I lied. I'm still up messing with this. And I realized I didn't explain what I did on this. It's super simple, just over 3 stitches again, but it is slip stitch and then chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and since I work in the back bump, this is awkward and slow, but then I do single crochet in the first, or in the second chain from the hook, and then 2 half doubles in the next 2, and then finally a double in the last one, just to give it kind of a flared look. Flared, is that really what I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, and then skip a stitch, and then slip stitch into that third one, and then start the whole thing over again. Slip, chain 5, blah 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 blah. I didn't explain it before, so I just thought I'd do that now. Hi, it's the next day. Enjoy the ambient noises of the thunderstorm happening outside my window right now. I'm a little to the left because the dog is under my table hiding because thunder upsets her. So we have both sides done. Now it's time for faces and then sewing them together. And then this, what was supposed to be a quick and easy thing, is going to finally be done. I'm very disappointed in myself, yes, in case you were wondering. It took way too long. I think the bigger the eyes, the cuter. You know, last time I had my case of safety eyes out was when I took, those aren't the same. Oh, be great for this story. It's when I took all that stuff to the library to work on that Jane Austen doll, and I took this even though I didn't get close to needing them. And when I got home, I threw the open tote bag that had all the stuff in it on my chair right there, and it all fell on the floor. This popped open. All of these were everywhere. Yeah, these aren't the same. Is it too big? I think I got everything back in its place, but who knows? I'm also using these really big ones because I never use them for anything, so this is a cute thing to do it on, I guess. Just use a 4-weight black acrylic to embroider some little mouths, and I'm realizing they are not going to match up because I didn't pay attention to that. This one's kind of askew from a tentacle, and this one's kind of like in between 2 tentacles. Who cares? Like if I were making these and selling them, I would be a lot more particular. This is just for my desk. Like nobody cares. All that's left is to sew them together, and that I am going to try to match up like with the seams and everything. Okay, I think I finally decided how to do this. I couldn't decide if I wanted to sew them together around or like slip stitch them together around. There's going to be one color that's going to be more dominant, and I'll just go ahead and use the orange. Okay, here's one tentacle so far. It's not as easy as I thought it'd be, but I'm gonna keep going. I mean, it's not hard, it's just really tight, making sure to get through the right stitches matched up because the stitches are going in opposite directions with the wrong sides being together. So I'm gonna finish this and we'll see in the end. Stitches didn't always match up. Neither do the faces. I should have paid closer attention to that, but that's okay. It's okay. This is just for me. But yeah, I did have to add a couple of stitches here and there to try to make things more even, but overall, I think it did pretty well. So let's flip them. See if they rest inside of each side the way they're supposed to. There's the mad guy. Yeah, not too bad. And here's the happy side. That's it. It should have been way quicker than this. It is Friday afternoon. But that's okay. I like the contrasting orange coming over on this side. I think it looks cute. I think it looks a lot cuter than if the white had been on the other side. So I got that done. So next I'm going to do the Christmas present in July, and hopefully I'll have it done by tomorrow afternoon. It's not gonna be big, but like, devil's in the details, right? It is Amy. I will clean all this up and show you what I plan on doing. So on the bingo card, I put both Christmas in July, make a gift, and make something using an Amy kit book, because I have been making these for my mother-in-law and father-in-law for the past 5 years as part of the Christmas gifts. So my father-in-law is a big Peanuts fan, Charlie Brown. My mother-in-law, did I say father-in-law on this one? Okay, well, my mother-in-law is a big Winnie the Pooh fan. So I thought if I get them both, I get 2 Christmas presents knocked out. That is fantastic. Well, since I have to pick one, I am gonna go with Peanuts this time because it is slightly easier. Like I've always said, devil's in the details. But this Winnie the Pooh book, I mean, she didn't make just like little blobs with, you know, a few details and colors to make it look like the character. She's intense with these. I mean, the amount of like separate body parts you have to make to get the shaping right, it's intense. Here's Eeyore. The one I did this last Christmas was Rabbit, and the legs almost took me out. He was hard. These are difficult. I'm not going to be doing this one because this one takes a little more time, and it is very late in the week, like I have mentioned. So we will be doing Peanuts. So I've done Charlie Brown first, obviously. Snoopy, I did Linus, Lucy, and Sally. Sally was this past Christmas. I think I'm going to go maybe with Pigpen this time, though I won't be able to emulate his dust cloud. Could I? This book is different because it has this woman's name on the front, but it was made by many different people. Yeah, it's got 4 different artists' patterns in here. Out of like 12 patterns, it's 4 different artists. I mean, so far they've been relatively cohesive, I think. I do it once a year, like, you know, but it's always somebody different, which is a little odd. I will get started on it later. I've got some other stuff to do right now. But this is the next plan. Christmas in July, a gift, Pigpen from this Peanuts book. Let's make a Christmas present on July 26th. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I decided on Pigpen from the Peanuts book to get this yesterday. It's been like a whole day, I can't remember. Anyway, the problem was picking colors because they have him in all blue, and I don't like that. I don't. But down here in this little picture, he's in blue and brown. If I Google him, he's either in all blue or all brown or this combination. So we're going to do this combination because I don't want to do all brown or all blue. So brown shirt, blue overalls, blue socks, and brown shoes. Yes, that's what we're doing. Sometimes things like this, it's a little confusing because you have like the comic strip, you have the old shows, movies, and then you have the newer version they revived like 15 years ago, whatever. So it's hard to sometimes pinpoint exactly how these characters should look. But this is what we're going with. I didn't bring any stuffing over. Damn it. No, it's all the way over there. Okay. So I don't know what I'll get done before dinner. It is late in the afternoon, but I've been doing chores all day. Plus I sleep in. Like, I stay up late, I sleep in. That's me. Another problem, like this book does try to work things in pieces and sewing it together. So I'm gonna work it as low sew as possible where I can. We'll start with the head, because that hair is gonna be a mess. The sooner that is over, the better. Okay. So for anybody curious, jury duty ended yesterday. It was over the 5 weeks that I had to call in and check every day. They literally had 3 jury trials the whole time. And I only had to go in once out of all those weeks. Oh, and these 3 trials were over the last 2 weeks. So those first 3 weeks, absolutely nothing. So I went for the second one. And because there's like a pool of like 50 of us called in that day. And that was the one I got called in for. They say that the computer picks us at random. And I went in at 8:30 in the morning. And I was done at 11:30. That was the entire experience I had for jury duty. It's not the first time I've ever had jury duty. I can't remember if I mentioned this weeks ago at the beginning of all this. I did it at the state Supreme Court level when we lived in Arkansas back before the girls were born. I'm not even sure we were married yet. So it was around 2006. It may have been 2007, and the latter half of 2007, we would have been married pre-children, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly when it was. I know I definitely worked for the first attorney I worked for at the time. So it was between 2005 and 2007, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't 2005. So anyway, and you will hear yard stuff happening because Brad is out there in this insane heat doing yard stuff. So I think the worst part of it all, other than having to call in every day, it's like, it would be great if we got like a week's notice. And I know I don't understand exactly how it all works, like setting all these things up, scheduling, but like every single day, come on. So we went in at 8:30 and we did not do anything until after 10 a.m. when we were finally called back into the courtroom to start the actual jury selection process. The first 15, 20 minutes was making sure everybody actually got there. Supposed to be there at 8:30. Of course, there were people who slowly filtered in afterwards. I mean, for me, it was 8:33. I do apologize. But I wasn't the last. Like, the woman in charge of all the jury duty stuff, she came in and gave everybody their work excuses that needed them, and then our parking validation, because they did at least validate our parking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where did I screw up already? That's what happens when I talk. And then she said, okay, it's still going to be just a little while, so if you want to get up and walk around, go to the bathroom, that's fine. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't need to go to the bathroom at the time. It was only like 8:50. I had gone to the bathroom before I left the house. And then people start coming back in, sitting down, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then she's like, oh, it's just going to be a little while before the judge is ready. I'm like, I was here at 8:30. What is he doing? Or she? I didn't know. What is this judge doing? And then I really needed to pee. And it's getting later and later, and I'm like, I want to go to the bathroom, but I'm afraid that I'm going to miss whatever we're supposed to do next. So I waited and I waited, and it was after 10 a.m. It was well over an hour that we just sat there doing literally nothing, except for the one jackass who had his phone out and playing a video with the volume on, no headphones or anything. That guy. Seriously. He's also the only idiot who didn't turn his phone off and got a phone call during the jury selection and got reprimanded by the judge, as he should. So anyway, finally after 10 a.m., they call us into the courtroom, and they just give us a brief overview that it is a criminal case, felony animal cruelty charges. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but they did describe what happened. It was bad. And then, the general questions started of, do you know anybody on either side of the either prosecution or defense, anybody who worked on this case? Do you know the judge? Do you know the accused and the list of witnesses and anybody else involved? Just making sure there was no link between anybody that would sway somebody's opinion one way or the other. There were a couple of people who did, and they were excused, and then started the questions of, do you think you could keep an open mind in this case? And there were several, like a woman who fosters animals was like, no, I literally cannot keep an open mind. They're like, okay, bye. And I didn't say anything because they were also asking questions about animal attacks and animal bites. And so I was like, okay, if that is the situation, I feel, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay, fine. I think I could keep an open mind. In the end, I did not get picked for the jury. So it started off with like all of us, all like 50 of us, and they called out 20 random names. Like they literally almost just pulled them out of a hat. And they sat us 1 through 20. And then as people who were in the jury selection, I was number 16, and the people who were in that jury selection answer questions in the affirmative of, I can't keep an open mind, or I know this person, I can't, I'm definitely gonna be swayed no matter what they say. Then that person would be excused, and they would call somebody else up at random. So I was in that initial selection, and then they finally graciously called for a recess for the two sides to pick the 12 jury members. But when we came back, they called out all the names of the people they had selected, and I was not one of them. So I went home, fine by me, I was like, okay, that's I can be fine with that. And so since I wasn't on the jury, guess what I did? I Googled, yep, and I looked up the initial news report, which had the initial police report and everything about the situation that happened last fall. Okay. Yeah, if I had had any knowledge prior, I'm not sure I could have kept an open mind at all. However, I became curious. They said it was me about a 1.5 day trial, and I'm like, okay, so I started looking to see if the news reported on any kind of verdict, which the news did not, but somebody on Facebook did. Somebody who knew the accused on Facebook posted about it, and they acquitted him. They said, congratulations, so-and-so's name, the truth set you free. So I don't know. I don't know any of the details, none of the witness stuff. I just know it was in the initial police report, and I don't know how he got out of that. So, okay. I'm glad I didn't get called, because, like, having to sit and listen to testimony and definitely probably absolutely seeing pictures of what had happened and things like that, yeah, I'm glad it wasn't me who made the decision. Like, I'm very, very happy I didn't have to be on the jury. So, and then there was one more this past week, and I think it went on like 2.5 days, which, that's long. And I didn't get called for that one, and that's it. No more. I'm done. Back to normal. But now I have scheduled a bunch of stuff for this week, appointments and things that, because I had to put off all the appointments that I had scheduled during that 5 weeks. I had to reschedule them until it was over, because I didn't know from day to day whether I was going to have to go in or not. So now I've got like one thing a day, among like also band camp and dance and everything. And now a dinner that I'm going to on Wednesday nights. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Did make the summer go by really, really fast, though. Okay, here's this little head so far. I did the nose and sewed that on, then placed the eyes. I can never remember if I use safety eyes on this, because the patterns in this book do not call for safety eyes. They call to use thread or yarn to make like little French knots, and no, I'm not doing that. So I always get out my little safety eyes. I forget that I do it, so I have to look at the pictures of from the past of ones I've done and be like, all right, I do use the safety eyes because I don't want to do French knots. Anyway, so yes, these are like 6mm eyes, and yeah, I'm gonna try to do the hair now. So in order to do the hair, I don't like how this looks, so what I'm gonna do is going to take longer. It's going to be harder. I'm doing it anyway. It says to do knots and then pull the yarn through on the scalp. Now I'm going to separate the fibers. This is going to take a while. Oh, my book closed itself. That's lovely. So I got to put his hair in and then cut it down. And I'm using really long strands. Don't care about that either. It's just a really crappy black yarn. And then what I'll do is, once I've got it cut down, I will use a fabric glue on there to stiffen it so it doesn't really move around. But I do plan on pulling these through individual stitches instead of like, because it just looks too thick what they have. It's bothering me. I don't like the way it looks. So since this is a 4-ply, I'm separating out the fibers. It's going to take a while, but like I've always said, devil's in the details, right? Okay, I know it's giving troll doll right now. Hopefully it won't forever. But this is what I had to do for the hair that I'm envisioning in my head. Yeah, I'm going to do it at the end. I just had to get it all in there while the bottom of the head was open before I closed it up. I went ahead and did the features because I needed kind of like a guide of where to put all the hairs. I don't normally do those until after the head is stuffed, but I had to do it before, and that threw me off. But at least that part's done. Sometimes we get down to those little details and it's like, ugh. But that's done. The hair's not going to get done to the very last, which I really hope it works out, because I can't undo it. It's inside the head and everything, but I wanted to get the rest of the body done. Anyway, this was a lot of work. This right here took a long time. Way longer than I anticipated. And it's such a tiny head. I'm going to continue on with the shorts and maybe get the legs and feet done. I'll definitely get the shorts done. Maybe legs and feet, maybe arms. Appendages might wait till tomorrow morning. I don't know. We'll see. If trust the process were ever a motto, I would definitely be asking you to trust the process now. However, I genuinely don't know if I trust the process, because this is a process I've not done before. So we'll hopefully be pleasantly surprised at the end together. Yeah. Pants. I need pants. I mean, I have pants. He needs pants. Okay, Rachel After Dark. Getting silly. Ooh, fun fact, I screwed up. Since they do the whole doll in the same shade of blue, at some point, I've gone very off script at this point because I'm trying to do no-sew and do it all in one piece. At some point, they, like right here, start the bottoms, the shorts part. Yeah, I just kept going thinking it was all the shirt. It's not. So I gotta undo like 3 rows and switch it to blue. So his body, this part will be much shorter. Just full transparency, I screwed up. Okay, it's bedtime. This is how far I have gotten on my not troll doll. So I've gotten his overalls separated down into the legs. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do the thing where I make the feet and the legs separately and then sew those into the holes. I hate that method, but I wanted to do all this as one part. So there were some sacrifices that had to be made because of the way the shoes are made. I have to work those from the bottom up. I don't think I can work those from the top down to avoid no-sew. I hate it, but it is what it is. I've already started a shoe. I know it doesn't look like that, but it is. But that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed and finish this thing tomorrow-ish. Definitely tomorrow. I just don't know when tomorrow. Sometime. I don't know. Good night. All right, so he's all put together. We are going to try to get this hair under control, which has just kind of been the theme this summer with all the humidity we've had, and I felt the same way, but him, we're gonna try to fix today. So my plan is to flat iron on a low temperature, since it is acrylic yarn, and then cut it down. I left it long so that the flat iron can pick it up. Cut it down, use the fabric glue to keep it nice and stiff. Hopefully it works out, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't. Let's put it that way. Okay, welcome to my bathroom. Let's hope we don't set it on fire. 275. Yeah. Okay, let's start at the back. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done with a craft. 275 is as slow as it goes, by the way. Hey, it worked. Nothing's on fire. Okay, look at that. Lovely. How's everybody else's Sunday going? Because I feel like this is weird, even for me. He's so pretty. Look at that. Gorgeous. Okay, time for haircut. That was almost 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back either. Hopefully it's worth it in the end. Let's chop this mane down to something more manageable. It's like, you know, when you cut all your Barbie's hair off. That's what it looks like. If you ever did that. I'm pretty sure I took some scissors to a Barbie's hair once or twice. When you get down to the scalp and you're like, ugh. That's what's under there. I mean, I'm not even sure I need the glue at this point. This is pretty messy. What do we think? Not too bad. Now I still have to make him dirty with a fabric marker. It said to use a black one, but I'm gonna go with brown. I'm gonna use brown. I might get black out for the top if this is not going to show up. Let's see. We'll see how that dries, but per the book instructions, the pattern, he's done, but it's not good enough. I think I'm gonna make him a little accessory. I made him a dust cloud. It wasn't part of the pattern, but I think it really, really sells it. What do you guys think? Yeah? I think so. So, I just used the Cute Crochet World, which I tried to do the gingerbread people out of for the Christmas ornament on week 2, and it didn't work out so well. Just waiting for my glue gun to finish heating up so I can glue it to the back, his back. And then that'll be it. There he is. There's Big Pen. This is one Christmas present done 5 months early, 4 months early, whenever. He's cute, right? I mean, he looks like he has some sort of pox, but he's cute. And that is Christmas in July, Make a Gift, done. Okay, so we got our first 2 things of the week done. It is very late on Sunday. Sadly late, but I had a lot of trouble with that octopus. Anyway, we have one more thing to get a bingo in any direction. And I know I said that I was going to do like a random wheel or choose out of the bag again out of 7. But no, you know what? I am going to decide my own fate today. Finally, after 4 weeks. And that's mainly because there's some things I literally cannot get done tonight in time for this video to go up tomorrow. So I decided on making a keychain for myself. However, I decided that I would use my Whimsical Stitches book, so that also knocks out crochet from a book. Now, I have crocheted from books a lot over the last few weeks. However, I never pulled it, so it didn't count, but that's going to give me 2. And I'm going to use the random color for an Amy project. Now, that's not exactly what I meant when I put it on the card. When I did that, I was thinking like I'd make a little animal, like a bear or something, and I'd spin a wheel to choose the color of the head, and then the body, and then each arm, and then each leg, something like that. But I will use it to do this because it is like a very small Amy project. So I will be doing the macarons, a macaron, just one, and I will let a color wheel choose, and I'll be following a pattern in this book, which I don't think I've ever followed a pattern in this book. So I'll be using a new book, not a new book. I'll be using a book for the first time that I've had like for 4 or 5 years. So that will be great, actually. So I'm going to knock out 3 more things out of 7. I don't really have time to destash an old pattern like an Etsy pattern because those are bigger Amy projects or full-on clothing items or blankets or something like that. I don't have any projects, any whips that are close to being done that I can get done tonight. I did consider one, but I think it's going to take too long. I'm not going to do Amy from a kit book. Nope, because like I said, if I had picked that one, I wanted it to be my mother-in-law's Christmas present, and that's going to take too long. And what's the last one? Crochet from a chart. I could, but I don't want to. So yeah, we're going to knock out 3 more with 1 project. And I will get started a little later because it is getting close to dinner time. Okay, one last ride, and then this little series will be over. So again, I'm doing the macaron, just one. It is a very easy, like, page of instructions, half page. It goes up to 30 stitches around, a few rows, 2 pieces, sew together, eyes and a mouth if I so choose. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that or not, but that's it. It's from a book. It's going to be a keychain, and right now I'm going to let a random color picker decide. So I'm doing the whole rainbow plus pink and brown because I think those are fairly normal colors for a macaron. Okay, so I'm going to spin the wheel. And we have pink. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. I feel like I feel so out of it. All right, pink's great. No, I'm sorry. Pink is great. Yes. Pink's great. Yay. All right, so pink and pink. Still magnolias, anyone? Should be relatively quick and painless. Probably one of the easiest things I've done in this month, honestly. I've always meant to do stuff out of this book, especially like some of the plant stuff, because I actually bought little pots, little teeny tiny pots that I was going to do like fake crochet plants in from this book and then put them in the pots. I have not done it. It's been like 5 years at this point. So anyway, let's make a macaron. It is 1.75 inches across, which I think is a good size for a keychain, right? Yes, agreed? Okay, great. So I'm gonna keep going. Now I think I switched to the filling color, so the other pink. So fun fact, I did not even have a macaron until like 3 years ago or so. I never wanted one. Like, I'd seen them, I had had the opportunity to buy them, but I never wanted one because they looked like toys. They look like little, like the little plastic toys that kids have like in their little plastic kitchens when they're toddlers. I don't know. That's all I've really got. So I never really wanted one. And then finally, we were at a football game, and it was kind of a weird deal where like the head honcho of the entire hospital system had invited Brad's department to be in like the presidential box for this game. And so, I mean, there was literally all the food and servers and everything. It was weird. Like, it was way too fancy for me. But anyway, they had a plate of macarons, and I finally tried one. And as I'm eating one, like, the head of all the hospital systems, all of them, is trying to talk to me. And I'm like, yep, that's great. It's a little embarrassing, but that's okay. Like, it's the largest employer of the state, the hospital, and he's over all of it. And I'm just shoving macarons in my mouth, and they were good. A little embarrassing, but good. So, yeah, I definitely enjoy them now. When we went to Disney, we asked the girls where they wanted to eat lunch at Epcot on our first day there. And our oldest was like, she said either Germany or France. And we're like, okay, well, we'll get lunch in Germany and we'll go get dessert in France later. And when we did go to one of the little patisseries in France, I ended up getting a box of assorted macarons, and I ate all of them. I mean, there were 6, and I still ate all of them right there in one sitting because I didn't have any way to carry them around. So yeah, I did it. The only problem was they were assorted and they weren't labeled. I had no idea what flavor I was going to be biting into, and some of them I'm still not sure what flavors they were even after eating them. Some of them I can identify. There were a couple that I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's good. So yeah. Anyway, top half done. Working on the bottom half. Easiest thing I've done in like the whole month. I say right now, but who, it's 2 circles. Like, how hard could it be? Let me tell you a super embarrassing story while I'm making a macaron. First and foremost, I hate exercise with a burning passion. All forms of exercise, I have never found anything I enjoy at all. I hate it all. So no recommendations because I hate it all. But I still do it because I know it's good for me. 2, 3, 4, okay. And I typically do 30 minutes of cardio a day on our treadmill, and then I'll do like 15 minutes of yoga to keep up with flexibility more than anything. But I was reading where it's like, something simple to add to a daily routine, and I saw kettlebell swings were a good thing. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll give that a try. I don't want to do too much more time than I already give to exercise because I hate it. Again, I really need you to understand how much I hate exercise. So we already have some kettlebells that Brad bought several years ago because he was going to use them. I don't think he ever did, but we have them. So I grabbed the smallest one, 20 pounds, and started doing kettlebell swings as part of my daily workout. I could not do them very well. I was surprised at just how weak I was, honestly. So I can only do like 10 reps at a time. And my goal was to get up to 100 a day, and I got up to 50. But I had to splice reps, several sets in between my other stuff. So I'd do a couple of reps or a couple of sets, and then I would get on the treadmill, and then I get off and do another set, and then I do yoga, and then finish them up, something like that. It was a lot. I was like, man, I have no upper body strength. And then after 2 weeks of that, I tried to add another set, maybe 60, 65. I can't remember exactly what. And by the end of that week, my lower back was killing me, no matter what I did. Sitting, laying down, reclining, no, just pain. Just pain. Not sore, muscle sore from working out, but actual pain. This was at the end of June, I think. So I quit doing those. In fact, I couldn't even exercise that week the next week, I decided to just take a break from everything. And the break is still going. It's been a month. But the other day, I was like, school's going to be starting up soon. I need to get back into a routine with my exercise. I'm really bad during holidays and summer. I'm pretty good during the school year, though, because I'm up earlier. And then it's easier for me to do that once the girls are at school, or even sometimes I get a workout in before they go to school. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I need to get back to it. And so I'm like, I still want to try the kettlebell thing, but I need something lighter. So I got online and I ordered a 10 pound and a 15 pound. And they're like the more squishy silicone coated ones, whereas the ones Brad have or bought that I was using are just like the full like metal, that dark silver metal color. I don't know exactly what they're made out of. Is it iron? I don't know. It's whatever. I was just using it because we had it. So I got the 10 and the 15, and I'm like, okay, so I'll work my way back up. I was like, was that a 20 pound or was it a 25 pound? I couldn't remember. I was like, should I go ahead and order a 20? Well, let me go check. So I go back and look, and I see 20. I'm like, okay, cool, 20. And like, these are the full metal ones where it's just like the weight is just kind of raised up a little bit. It's not painted on. Anyway, you have to look at it at a certain light. And I saw the 20. And then I saw the KG, not LB. I had been doing kettlebell swings with 44 pounds, thinking it was only 20 pounds, and hurting myself. You know, I was like, damn, I am weak. 20 pounds, this shouldn't be anything. But, you know, I was like, I haven't done weights in so long that I just rolled with it. I just assumed I really was that weak. No shade to anybody who can't do 20-pound kettlebell swings. Like, no shade. Like, obviously, I'm an idiot. There's that. But my flabber was gasted. That was a thing. So yeah, it turns out we have the number on top was the kilos, and we have like a 20, a 25, and a 35 kilo. And I was sitting there doing the swings with 44 pounds. So when that 10-pounder comes in the mail, that is going to be no problem. I decided to give him a little face after all. Why not? It's cute. So I just have to sew it together and stuff it, and then put all the hardware on. And that'll be that. I did it. It's really cute. So cute. Okay, well, that was 3 things in one. So, book, keychain, random color picker, though that wasn't exactly what I intended with that one. But, you know, whatever. So I believe that's 3 bingos I got at the end of this. How exciting. So that is 3 separate bingos I got by doing a 3-in-1 project. I really did not want to stack anything during this time because I thought that would be kind of cheaty, but since this is the last thing, I think stacking 3 things is fine because no matter what, I was going to get a bingo, and now I have 3. So I'm going to say goodnight for now, and I will come back tomorrow during the day and wrap this video and this little series up. This is it. We're done. It was an interesting month. Very, very interesting. Sorry, George. So I had a good time, actually. I was very nervous about doing this because I was like, is this even going to be somewhat interesting? Even for me, let alone other people to watch. But I really enjoyed it. And I definitely think that my favorite thing on here is the corner to corner crochet that I did. This was the very first week, and I was just supposed to follow a YouTube tutorial, like nothing specific. I got to pick whatever I wanted, and I did finally learn how to do corner to corner crochet, and I really, really, really love it. So that was exciting. I finally used some books I have never touched, or maybe have only done 1 or 2 things out of over the years. I have this scarf that's going to get finished. I've already bought more yarn to do that, make a matching hat, and gloves. That was for my no acrylic or no cotton yarn, and this is 100% wool. Finally got this little cute hat made. Very excited about that. And Jane wasn't necessarily one sole project. I started her at the library when I said crochet at the library, and I also used a non-ergonomic hook on part of her, just the skirt and the hair, I believe. And this little hamburger was nothing except a distraction when I should have been doing something else, but I made it, and you know, it's cute and I love it. So that's it. Crochet Bingo is done. Maybe I'll do it again next summer. It's actually kind of fun, and it definitely gave me a whole month of focusing on something. Like, I wasn't worried about what I had to do next because I already had it ready to go. But anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I did make a whole playlist of all 4 weeks of these if you want to check out the other ones. It's linked below, I assume. And otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!